We back, and today is the first of a long-awaited channel, mainly awaited from friends of mine. And today we are playing Elden Ring, Game of the Year for 2022. Pretty good game, in my opinion. I think I have close to 180 hours in this, which is pretty low compared to the other people I watch play, but yeah, it's fine, you know. they play games for a living, so you know, it's fine. This is not my first time playing, as you can see. I have a fair amount of hours in. Let's delete this guy. I guess to go over the builds, this is a strength-oriented player. I have the Stone Crusher Hammer, and it is just big weapon, bigger damage. This is a samurai build, which I'm going pretty well so far. These two are in New Game Plus. This one is at Godskin Duo, and that is very hard because this run is I'm not using any spirit ashes. And then this, so this is a pyromancer build. It's not as good as I thought it would be, but it works. And then this is a snow mage build who is at fire giant right now. And today, just gonna play the cutscene. No, okay. Today we are gonna go with a sort of lightning build. The name of the file I just deleted was Zeus, and that kind of went with the theme. So that's we're gonna do a lightning build, basically. I looked and I decided to go before today. I went with Confessor. Why did I go with Confessor? Maybe because of the high dex, so I can get the mace faster, so I can kill that big dragon. Is this? I mean, it's 2 less faith, 2 more dex, 3 more levels though. I also really like how this one looks. We'll roll with it. Why not? I'm gonna go with Jimmy. Let's be young. Keepsake. Let's go with the medallion. More health never hurts. You know, it's always funny to change your character, so I'll be back. So here we are. Alright, run it. Is it gonna give me the intro? Are we straight into it?
The fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring.
The lore for this game is crazy. DLC right there.
Mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment.
Radon
by
looks
the
scary.
greater will.
Scarier than usual.
Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask.
Is he drunk?
Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome dung-eater, and Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing.
Why is Gideon in a coffin? I never realized that. Or never really thought about it.
Other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between, to stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
That's gonna be a minute. Okay. Let's get a few things set up. Odds are that I was probably just saying, hey, welcome to the game. Here's how you do stuff. What was that item for again? I don't really remember. Inventory. I have to remember to actually slow down because this is not the first time playing. Used to write messages. Messages will be conveyed to other worlds. Yeah, so basically, you know, these. And there's a comic book there. I never noticed. The game never fails to always look really pretty. Technically, first boss, you can't kill him. I mean, you can, it's just really hard. It is easier just to jump off, because if you die to him, you get sent to the actual tutorial. If you don't, if you just fall off, you still get sent to the tutorial. But it's just faster to fall off. Hence why I did it. If you do defeat the boss, you do get, I think, a shield and some kind of weapon, and then a path opens up and you step on a false platform and then you still die. So you die one way or another. But I don't think falling off at the beginning was... I don't think that would have counted. I could be wrong. Yes, I know the activate Windows thing. I'll fix that next time.
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on his side. We found him here, after all. One of his kind is sure to seek the Elden Ring.
That one is me.
Even if it does violate the Golden Order.
This armor set's actually really cool. I might rock it for the whole game. Game's too good. Something that, by the way, Crimson Tears replenishes your health. And Cerulean Tears replenishes your magic. Down there's the tutorial, but I do need to say something though. So there's these golden trees throughout the game, right? And that's how you get the golden seeds, which was one of the treasures I could have gotten at the start when I was making my character. Golden seeds increase the amount of flasks you have, but for some reason they don't give you one right here. Tree. I forgot about that. Alright, let's do the tutorial. Why not? Nothing too hard, nothing much. Yeah, you press down. I am playing on controller, it is a million times easier. So down on the D-pad is to switch through. I did not know what that said. It probably said something about the grace. Down on the D-pad is to switch through anything on these 10 slots. Up on the D-pad is Assassin's Approach. Up on the D-pad is your spells. They're not on here, they're on the grace. And then left on the D-pad and right on the D-pad manages your right hand and your left hand. You can have 3 weapons here, 3 weapons here, normal arrows, and then crossbow bolts here. There's also this other section over here where if you hold, I think it's, you hold Y, it pops up, and it's like a quick menu, basically. Convenient for some items. I don't really use it that often though. So up on the so this is where you would manage your up on the D-pad slots. I don't know what it is on keyboard and mouse. So someone does. I'm pretty sure the game also tells you, but I'm not trying to figure that out. So Assassin's Approach, silence footsteps, reduce fall damage, and sound. So is this Sneak from Dark Souls 3? Sounds like it. Flasks, you can... So adding charges increases the amount... Right? Yeah. So adding charges is the golden seeds, which increases the number. Increasing amount, so you can use a secret here to increase how much you get back. Then allocate, you can just, you know, as it says here, you can just switch between how many you want to have in each one. Usually, I go majority for heals, and then the others go into magic. On Dark Souls 3, you got 15 total, so I put 10 on healing, and then 5 on magic, and it worked out pretty well. Lock it on mechanic, best thing in the game. Backstabs. Backstabs are critical hits. They do, I think it's 1.5% of your base damage, which is really good. Sorceries and incantations. So what I'm going for is an incantation build, for those that don't know. Lightning strikes are considered incantations. Guarding is good for shields. I guess I'll put one on to demonstrate. Also, the game doesn't pause when you pause, but, you know, that's fair. Guarding. Dodging, probably what Dark Souls is probably still memed about to this day, but, you know, important. hold B to sprint. And the one thing I was so grateful for when I first played this game, you can jump. Best thing in the game. Another good thing is when you're not in combat and you're sprinting, your stamina bar does not go down. That really hurt, jeez. I'm sorry. So your skills. Whatever is in your hand on the bottom left, it says square off, and that says parry. So parry, self-explanatory. I'll try to do it on this guy. I'm not getting it down. Okay, so if you're two-handing it, it has something called square off, which is how it was in Dark Souls 3 with the straight swords. Basically the exact same. You know, you go into this position, and then you can press the right bumper or the right trigger, and you do a little attack. Crouching is... It's actually really effective, especially towards a later boss in the game. I think it's a Draconic Tree Sentinel. That's a... I don't know how to cheese them, but I know you can. So, basically, it's just saying if you do enough damage, or if you do enough poise damage specifically, this happens. The enemy basically gets stunned for a few seconds. Some get up faster than others, and that can make you do a quick attack. Stakes America are kind of like checkpoints for bosses, so you don't have to run all the way back if you are pretty far away. Let me get rid of the shield. There's only, I think, there's a few good shields in the game, but none that I would really use. Guard counters, I just don't use those. Guard counters had to do something with the shield. You know, you block a certain way, and then you can get like a counter attack. So that's a tutorial. It's a solid tutorial. You know, it tells you basically everything you need to know, and then we get an extra 600 runes. Valuable and needed. This game is great. Yeah, good thing about this game is when you go to a grace, a main one, they let off a light on where you need to go. So right now it's telling me to go to the church. I don't have to, I will. The map, it also shows on the map where to go.
You are maidenless.
I know, and everyone gets so upset when they get called maidenless. But me personally, that's fine. Also, in terms of armor, I really just go with what looks cool, and honestly, this looks really cool. So I'm probably just gonna rock it for the rest of the game. Although, what are the stats? So this is okay. It's kind of bad for a headgear, but I mean, it's solid magic resistance. These are a little bad for a chest piece. That's okay for some gloves, and that's okay for some boots. If I can find anything to increase lightning damage throughout the run, I'll equip it. But as of now, this is the fit, and my nose peeks out of the hood, but you know, that's okay, that's fine. You can fast travel too, yeah, I forgot to mention that. So I could fast travel to there, but it's just right there, so I'm not gonna. Another thing too, so we can find the sacred tears in churches. Not this one. I am not sure why, but maybe that's just how it is. They called armaments, or they called the weapons armaments in this game. I'm not entirely sure why they would change the name, but I am not against it. So this is a smithing stone 1. It goes all the way up to 8, and then there's another item called a ancient dragon smithing stone. So essentially, each smithing stone increases it can upgrade your weapon by intervals of 3. So if we get 12 smithing stone 1s, which is the amount you need to get it to +3, we would use 2 to get it to +1, 4 to get it to +2, then 6 to get it to +3. Then we would need 12 smithing stone 2s to get it to +6, 3 to get it to +9, so on and so forth, until we have 8 or 12 smithing stone 8s to get it to +24. Then we just need 1 ancient dragon smithing stone to get it to +25. Now there's another type of smithing stone called a somber smithing stone, which you only need 9 of, and it's somber smithing stone 1 through 9, and you only need 1 of them to upgrade your weapon. You don't need 12. And then there's an ancient somber dragon smithing stone to get it to max level. So most weapons go to +25, then you would need normal smithing stones, and then other weapons go to +10, and then you would need somber smithing stones. There isn't much, well, depending on what you think, there isn't much of a difference between a normal weapon and a somber weapon. Like, I could beat the final boss with the sword if I wanted to. I really don't, but I could.
That you're not after my throat.
So there are these merchants throughout the map, and they can sell you, somewhat decent things, right? Throwables, a telescope, these things to summon people, jars or pots. Pots are pretty good. Arrows are solid. And then he also sells you cookbooks. Now, cookbooks are used for crafting.
Goodbye.
And I have not crafted a single time throughout this game, and I don't plan to. Just gonna keep everything how it is, keep everything solid, normal, not change a thing. So this is our maiden.
Heard of another matter. I bequeath to you this ring.
So example of putting something in the quick item would be the horse. Pretty nice horse. So if I fast travel back to this site, there should be a certain someone waiting for me, and there she is.
May I have a word?
Yes, you may. Thank you, so kind. So spirits are a new mechanic in this game. They are essentially, there's a variety of them. This one is just 3 wolves, so let's go back here and I'll give an example. So at the left side of the screen, there's that little arc with the text on it. That means I can summon my ashes. Now, in this case, the ash is just 3 wolves that cost 55 FP, which is, not that bad, but, I have, 88, so that is bad, but not that much. What the wolves do is they just attack, and they can draw aggro, which is helpful. There's also another mechanic in this game where so this is a camp, and if you kill everyone in the camp, your flasks replenish, which I think is pretty nice, pretty handy. Great sword. Can I use it? Ooh, wait, I can. I was not expecting to figure out how to use it. By the way, so the text said, oh, you can't really use it because of your stats with one hand, but if you two-hand it, then you're fine. Because the sword requires 16 strength, I have 12. However, so I can't, as you can see, I can one-handed, but it's not going to do enough damage. If you look at the right side of the screen, our armament 1 says 81. And if I were to two-hand it, it says 158. That is really loud. So there's another weapon over here, which is kind of needed if you want to do good in the run. We can get to that later. And the weapon is the flail. Can I use the flail? I can't. That's unfortunate. Okay. So the cool thing about the flail is at the bottom it says passive effects blood loss build up 50. There is a mechanic in this game where if you hit an enemy enough with a weapon that causes bleed, after a certain amount of hits they will take percentage based damage. I forgot how much percentage it is, but it takes off a good chunk of their health. It really does. And the number 50 next to it means how much is inflicted upon them each hit. So the higher the number, the better. And since we do not have enough dex, even when two-handing it, that means, if I remember correctly, it means we do not get blood loss buildup. So heading back here after getting that grace, there are these kind of small pillars scattered around the map, which, funny enough, give you a map of the area. So these little pillars are around the map, and they give you a map. For example, get up, Limgrave West, found the map, gotta run away so I don't get hurt. Actually, let's test the bleed. Okay, I think we would have gotten it by then. Not entirely too sure. So now that we found the map, we have this entire chunk found and can be searched. So these little holes are caves. This is a place called an Everjail, which is like a mini boss, technically. They can give you some good rewards. These are like ruins. This is a Church of the Dragon. You have to get dragon hearts, and then you can exchange them for cool dragon abilities. These are merchants, and you know the fog means you haven't discovered it yet. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to, actually I am going to leave it here because I need to figure out a few things, and I need to see how this all goes. So thank you for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Peace.